Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Dearborn County Board of Commissioners meeting July 2nd, 2024. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all citizens.
As a recipient of federal funds in support of Dearborn County's efforts to ensure non-discrimination and equal access to all citizens, the county gathers statistical data regarding participants in county activity. Therefore, we have provided a voluntary Title VI public involvement survey at this meeting. You are not required to complete this survey. However, the form is anonymous and will be used solely for the purpose of monitoring our compliance with Title VI and ADA.
Thank you, Andy. Okay, moving on to old business, the Dearborn 2024 provisional contract. Want to speak?
My name is Stephen Gimmer. I represent the board for the Dearborn Emergency Unit, and I'm not really sure why we're here today, but since I am here, I did put together some things I would like to give to the board. As you know, we are having trouble communicating to make a contract. Every time we come down to negotiate a contract, we're always never talked to, spoke to, no questions are ever answered. I want it to be made known that our commissioners have been trying to do contract negotiations on the side. They're doing it in the dark. They claim they have a group of people that's working to tear the Dearborn unit down and put it back together, and that they're going to build it in their way. As we tried to explain in the last meeting when we came down to negotiate a contract, and we were being interrupted the whole time, we cannot accept the contract that they do for several reasons. One, there's no money to pay anybody, so it's kind of hard to have EMS service when you don't have people that run it. And we are trying to build it so that someone's there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to maintain it. That's what we're working towards. And we know that there was a problem in the past. The board that we have now is not of the past. We have come up with a new plan, a game plan. Unfortunately, the commissioners don't want to hear it. But what our plan is we will man the station with 2 people, 24/7. We now have 6 people we are training using our money to become EMTs with no help from the county. And I just want to make it very clear to the people of Dearborn County, we have strived very hard in order to make this work. Unfortunately, we have a commissioner who's done everything he can to stop it. And it's time to expose it. This meeting, we've decided we would expose it. And this is what I gave to you, and you can read it for yourself, and you can see what's been going on behind the scenes. Again, we were told we were going to discuss our contract on July 2nd, but then we get a letter from the county attorney, which was dictated by the Commissioner Rick Prost, and basically told us to accept their contract or they're not going to use us. That's their choice, not ours. Again, if you have a business, and whether you like it or not, EMSs are businesses. If you have a business, you have to be able to pay your employees. You have to be able to pay the insurance and all the taxes that go with it. And it's kind of hard to do when the county doesn't want to fund you. So we are looking for other options. We are working on other options, and that's our game plan. We are open to working with the county, but we will do it in the public forum. So you all understand something. On March 12th, in a council meeting, Commissioner Goodman made a deal with us that we would run a month to month to month, and based on how much percentage of runs we made, we would be paid. This was March 12th, 2024. He told us that this would happen. And what happened on March 17th, Commissioner Jim Thatcher told the dispatch to quit calling us, after we had set up people to be there and man the station. So this is another thing that just kind of sets wrong with us. Another time we reached out to Commissioner Rick Prost. He's supposed to be our commissioner from Dearborn, and he refuses to talk to us until we sign their contract. I just want the people to know we are not going to sign that contract. It will destroy the Dearborn EMS, and we are going to build this Dearborn EMS back. It will be built back, and the people of Dearborn will have an option if they want to use us or not, but there are other people who are interested in using us. Our game plan was to build it back where we would be there 24/7. We have not stopped working on putting it back together. I did not get involved with this until after that March 12th meeting, when I saw what was really going on. And we did not use this stuff. We could have used it during the election. We would not do it. It's not a political thing. It's about the people of Dearborn. It's about the west side of the county. Because you cannot support, Aurora's doing a great job, the best they can do, but it's too much territory for them to cover. Morris Hill's trying to help. It's too much territory. There's a reason Dearborn has an EMS. And it is a shame that these people here don't seem to understand the west side of the county. I believe half of them don't even know where the roads are or where Dearborn travels to. But again, our plan is to put it back, and put it back right. It's a shame that some of these people have been threatened because of what we're doing, but I'm telling you right now, we are determined to make it work. And if anybody here wants more information than what we passed out here, and I apologize, I just didn't have time, I wasn't planning on being here today, but I got a packet right here that goes along with that. And anybody that wants this packet, I would gladly get it to you as we copy them all. It tells you a lot more than what that little piece I just handed you. And the big thing is that I want everybody to understand that our commissioners are not looking out for our EMSs, none of them. And if you understand that and start looking into what they're doing, we have a letter, a contract they made to have a evaluation of all the EMSs. You all paid $48,000 for it, but yet we do not see it. We're not allowed to see it. Kind of like some of the other things that are going on. Do you all realize that because of 3 deputy sheriffs, they actually had a coup on Dearborn EMS, took it over from November to January, and wasted over $110,000 of our money and resources? And there is criminal investigations going on. In fact, it's now the insurance company making it as well.
That has nothing to do with.
So what we would like to do is just for everybody to understand, it's not what you keep hearing. What is the truth is the fact that they will not deal with us. They will not answer a question. And one question is, why would you make a contract with those you knew were legitimate and you will not talk to us? You signed a contract with them, and they are the ones that you all saw on the news, just so you know, that lady in Christmas time, that was being run by the illegitimate ones. That was not the current board. That was not Harry that was running the show. That was the one that they contracted to run the show, that have been since gone because they were legal. So anything, questions you got?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why didn't you lend Aurora one of your units when they had one down?
Well, that's a simple question.
They
Can I answer?
requested twice. And
3 times,
remember-
actually.
Okay, well, it went to your board, and you did loan them a unit to help cover actually territory in Dearborn.
And that's a very simple reason.
You didn't even respond to the.
Yes, but they weren't responded to, sir. Were you there? Do you know,
All I know
would you
is
like to know the
you
answer?
didn't get a unit, I wanna know why. Write in
Can I answer?
your own contract.
Can I answer that?
In a minute,
Can I answer that?
in a second. It says in your own contract that you own emergency medical equipment and are willing and able to assist other communities in Dearborn County with medical emergencies. You breached your own contract.
The contract they signed yet, is it? Did you
Well,
sign it?
it's what you proposed.
Can I
you
answer,
breached it
can I answer
already.
the question now? Can I answer the question?
You can now.
Thank you. Just so you all know, and again, understand what's going on here, we requested several times a meeting with the Aurora chief and was refused. Then, all of a sudden, they want to use our ambulance and they won't talk to us. Kind of hard to lend your tools to someone who will not talk to you. We were going to negotiate with her that if we could use our driver, because we was a little bit worried since they blew up 2 of their ambulances, of ours being blown up. Also, because of the people you let take over, they damaged one of our ambulances, so we only got one. So we can't afford to lose it. We're working on the other one. We absolutely was going to let them use it, but she would not contact us. She would not sit down and talk about it. And that is a fact. And so we're supposed to get together on Memorial Day weekend, and she didn't do it. I cannot help it. You can't, if you don't lend your car to someone, well, Mr. Thatcher, let me ask you something. I need an extra vehicle for my business because we're running short. Can I have the keys to your car? I'll get back to you in 2 weeks.
Well, I'm saying,
Can I have an answer?
according to this.
I will help people, but you have to come to us.
If I had the equipment and was under contract with you, then yeah, I would.
That's not the point. I'm not under contract with anyone, and we would have let them use it, but they have to sit down so we can negotiate the terms of it. I can't hardly just say, here's the keys, what are you gonna do with it? It's not very responsible. It wouldn't be a good steward of our equipment. It wouldn't be a very responsible, if something happened, to explain to the insurance company why we did it if we don't have an agreement. So that is the whole story. Unfortunately, it's like everything else. You put out little pieces of stuff, trying to make things look bad, and I loved your little interview. You know, that was really good, since you didn't know the whole story. Just like the thing with the Christmas Day lady who was not rejected by the current board, it was by the people you installed, signed the contract with, are the ones that did not respond to that lady.
Do you have anything else to add, Steve?
If you got no more questions, I'm done.
Thanks for your time.
Well, I appreciate it. I really had to work a lot this morning, to get here, but gotta pay my IT tax.
I think the only thing that, you have anything? I think the only thing I can add is that, you're indicating you can't sign our contract for resigning. We can't sign yours because you, have decided that in your contract, there would be no accountability. You talk about money, there's money in that contract to come to you.
Are you,
It's my turn. It's my turn.
Okay, what, should I go
Okay,
back to the podium?
we gave you 3 months to get up. I'm not done. Okay, we gave you 3 months to get up and be operational.
Steve, you're done.
And
Oh,
provided,
Steve.
and
I
provided
thought he was
money.
talking to me, I'm sorry.
Provided money for that. And then we asked it after the 3rd month that you start showing some accountability. It just, and then in terms of your contract, we sent you our contract and allowed you 2 weeks to review it. You came in on July 2nd, or not July 2nd, June 18th, I believe. and gave us a contract that day in our meeting and expected us to negotiate. You didn't give us any time to even look at it. So, I mean, some of the stuff you're saying just doesn't make sense. You just think, well, we're not gonna accept yours. What, you had nothing, we were gonna give you money. There needed to be some accountability. Dillsboro EMS only made 12% of their calls in 2023, and you expected the county to award you $958 a month. Based on that performance, you talk about a business, would you enter into a contract with an organization and pay them that kind of money, and they only deliver on about 10% of their services? We would be laughed out of this building if we did something like that. That wouldn't be a good use of taxpayer dollars. So I'm done. I would, Mr. Probst, make a motion that we reject the, contract provided to us by Dillsboro Emergency Unit, Inc., and that we move on to, other possibilities.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
We're done. Motion carries. Mr. Biden, do you have something you'd like to say?
Yes, I typed up a statement regarding the Dillsboro Emergency Ambulance Unit, Inc., to be considered by the Commissioners. On the 19th day of December 2023, the Dearborn County Board of Commissioners approved a contract for emergency medical service with the Dillsboro Emergency Unit, also known as the Dillsboro Emergency Ambulance Unit, Inc., or the DEAU. Shortly thereafter, it was alleged that the individual that executed the contract on behalf of the DEAU did not have the authority to do so. Additionally, the Commissioners were notified by Dearborn County 911 Communications that the DEAU had only responded 12% of the time they were called out during 2023, and additionally, that the DEAU had been administratively dissolved by the Indiana Secretary of State, and therefore was not a valid nonprofit corporation at the time the contract was executed. As such, the Board of Commissioners voted to terminate this contract on the 16th day of January 2024, with the termination effective on the 17th day of March 2024. The letter informing the DEAU of this termination was mailed to the DEAU on the 17th of January 2024. The letter also indicated that the Commissioners believed the contract to be void because of the questionable execution of the contract by the DEAU and because of the administrative dissolution of the DEAU. Since that time, the Commissioners have been working to resolve this situation and to bring the DEAU back into the fold as a provider of emergency medical services in Dearborn County. In an effort to ensure that the citizens have been properly protected in the interim, the Dearborn County Council authorized and the Commissioners approved supplemental distributions to Aurora EMS and Morris Hill EMS to provide EMS coverage to the citizens of Dillsboro. The attempted resolution of this matter has been spearheaded by Jim Thatcher, President of the Board of Commissioners, with the full support of Commissioners Rick Probst and Alan Goodman, and in coordination with representatives from the Dearborn County Sheriff's Office, Dearborn County 911 Communications, Dearborn County Emergency Management, the Town of Dillsboro, and with the assistance of the Dearborn County Attorney. On the first day of June 2024, a proposed provisional contract was hand-delivered to the DEAU. This provisional contract would provide funding to the DEAU so long as the DEAU complied with the terms and conditions contained therein. The provisional contract included terms that were unique to the DEAU. These special terms were included to ensure that the DEAU would provide sufficient coverage to the citizens of Dillsboro and that issues with the management of the DEAU, some of which have been discussed by the DEAU itself, could be addressed. The inclusion of these special terms was intended to put the DEAU in a position to be a successful EMS provider for years to come. As to the special terms contained in the provisional contract and the reason that each was included. 1. The provisional contract called for, beginning in September 2024, response rate benchmarks that would need to be met by the DEAU. The first 3 months of the provisional contract contained no benchmarks, but the DEAU would be required to respond 50% of the time beginning in September, and the response rate would increase by 10% each month, ultimately reaching an 80% response rate in December 2024. This term was included because the response rate of the DEAU over the past 3 years has dwindled from 30.82% in 2021 to 12.30% in 2023. This is simply unacceptable. Removing the highest percentage in 2023, Lawrenceburg EMS at 91.11%, and the lowest, the DEAU at 12.30%, The trimmed mean average response rate for EMS units providing coverage in Dearborn County in 2023 was 80.58%. Dearborn County didn't ask the DEAU to hit this rate until the 7th month of the provisional contract and required no benchmarks in the first 3 months. 2, the provisional contract called for the DEAU to have a financial and inventory audit conducted beginning January 1, 2021 and continuing through the current year. Dearborn County had suggested Blue & Company LLC because of their experience with nonprofits to conduct the audit, but the DEAU was free to retain any reputable CPA subject to the approval of the commissioners. The audit term was included because members of the DEAU have, on multiple occasions, alleged that theft of DEAU property and/or funds has occurred. In all actuality, the DEAU should have already engaged someone to conduct an audit because of this alleged theft, but it has not done so. If a theft has occurred, the audit could reveal what was stolen and by whom. Additionally, as a nonprofit corporation, the DEAU is required to file a Form 990 with the Internal Revenue Service. Form 990s are searchable, and upon review, the information contained therein further solidifies that an audit of the DEAU finances and inventory should be conducted, and should probably go back at least 5 years rather than just 3 years. Line 22 of the Form 990s lists the net assets or fund balances, and the DEAU Form 990s, going back to 2016, are available for review and reveal the following. 2016, line 2022, $1,363,126. 2017, no Form 990 available. 2018, line 2022, $1,336,013. 2019, line 22, $1,227,442. 2020, no Form 990 available. 2021, line 22, $142,350. The DEAU Form 990 show that the DEAU's net assets or fund balances have decreased by $1,084,692 between the filing of the 2019 Form 990 and the 2021 Form 990. There may be a perfectly rational explanation for this. However, such a drastic reduction further exemplifies the importance of a financial and inventory audit. Moreover, while the DEAU was floundering with response rates of 30.82% in 2021, 20.79% in 2022, and 12.30% in 2023, Dearborn County was providing the DEAU with over $60,000 in public funds each of those years. What were these funds being used for if the DEAU wasn't carrying out its stated purposes of being a life squad serving the town of Dearborn and surrounding areas? The DEAU must answer for these public funds through the audit called for in the provisional contract if the DEAU hopes to contract with Dearborn County again. 3, the provisional contract would require the DEAU to amend its corporate bylaws to add 1 board member to both Dearborn County and the town of Dillsboro. These board members could have been a member of the Board of Commissioners and the Town Council, or they could have been citizens appointed by the Board of Commissioners and the Town Council. The bylaws would also be amended to require the DEAU membership would include any governmental entity that provides financial assistance to the DEAU. This term was requested because of the upheaval that has befallen the DEAU over the past several months. Having representatives from Dearborn County and the town of Dillsboro on the DEAU board and as part of the DEAU membership would provide valuable information, guidance, recommendations, and advice to the DEAU as it works to become an EMS provider that provides exceptional service to the citizens of Dillsboro. Elected officials or their appointments are routinely called upon to assist nonprofit corporations, with boards of the Convention Visitors and Tourism Commission and Community Mental Health Center being just 2 examples that have elected officials serving on their boards. Finally, the provisional contract would not permit the DEAU to take any convalescent runs, as taking such for-profit runs could jeopardize the nonprofit status of the DEAU. The Commissioners requested a response to this provisional contract by no later than June 14, 2024, so that they may consider it at the Board of Commissioners meeting on June 18. On June 14th, the DEAU notified the Dearborn County Administrator that they would be in attendance at the June 18th Commissioners meeting. At this meeting, the DEAU did not respond to the provisional contract that had been provided, but instead submitted their own proposed contract to the Commissioners and wanted to negotiate their contract during the public meeting, even though this contract had just been given to the Commissioners and the County Attorney. Even though the DEAU had effectively ignored the proposed provisional contract, on the 21st day of June 2024, Commissioner Probst personally delivered a letter from the county attorney and an updated provisional contract to the Dillsboro Post Office to be placed in the DEAU's post office box. Commissioner Probst requested that the DEAU execute the provisional contract by no later than noon on June 28th. By letter dated June 26th, the DEAU once again rejected the provisional contract. Upon review, the contract provided to the commissioners by the DEAU looks to be the same contract that Dearborn County utilizes for other EMS providers. The monthly dollar amount contained in the proposed DEAU contract, $22,958 per month, is more than has even been allocated by the Dearborn County Council, $14,600 per month. The proposed DEAU contract does not contain any response rate benchmarks, nor does it contain any commitment to a financial and inventory audit. In short, the special terms that had been contained in the provisional contract proposed by Dearborn County that were meant to address concerns about response rate, the allegations of theft, and the substantial decrease in the DEAU's net assets are wholly ignored in the contract proposed by the DEAU. The DEAU has not responded to the provisional contract as requested. Rather, the DEAU had provided their own contract that would maintain the status quo and ignore the issues that they are facing. The proposed contract from the DEAU does nothing but confirm that they are content with the service they were providing previously, and they believe that they are entitled to funding from Dearborn County in exchange for an abysmal response rate. The citizens of Dillsboro deserve better. Dearborn County and the town of Dillsboro, alternatively, are interested in bettering the service that is provided to the citizens of Dillsboro. Dearborn County and the town of Dillsboro provided a provisional contract to the DEAU that would require the DEAU to provide adequate service and would hold the DEAU accountable if it failed to do so. The DEAU has flatly rejected the provisional contract without even asking to negotiate the special terms that were contained therein. Rather, the DEAU doesn't want any special terms. The DEAU doesn't want to be held accountable. The DEAU just wants what the DEAU believes it is entitled to. The elected officials of Dearborn County and the town of Dillsboro are charged with public safety and being good stewards of the public trust and public funds. To agree to the proposed contract from the DEAU would be a violation of these duties. To agree to a contract that does nothing to address a 12% response rate would endanger public safety, would be a gross violation of the public trust, and it would be a frivolous expenditure of public funds. As such, the Dearborn County Board of Commissioners cannot agree to the contract that was provided by the DEAU, and the DEAU seems unwilling to consider the proposed provisional contract that Dearborn County prepared. Therefore, there will be no contractual relationship between Dearborn County and the DEAU. Dearborn County will continue providing supplemental funding to Aurora EMS and Morse Hill EMS because of the exemplary coverage that they are providing to the town of Dillsboro. Dearborn County is indebted to these units for stepping up when called upon. The commissioners will continue to work with the Dillsboro Town Council to come up with a more permanent solution. The first step in this solution will be the entry into a contract for emergency medical responder service with the Dillsboro Volunteer Fire Department Incorporated so that, when a medical emergency rises, medical assistance can be provided as quickly as possible. The emergency medical responder with the Dillsboro Volunteer Fire Department has been providing necessary medical coverage care throughout the year to individuals that are awaiting transport to the hospital by either EMS or Morse Hill EMS, and the Dillsboro Volunteer Fire Department should be compensated for the service that they are providing. For the foregoing reasons, the Dearborn County Board of Commissioners cannot commit to a contract with the DEAU at this time, as the DEAU is unwilling to commit to terms that would require response rate benchmarks and that would hold the DEAU accountable to the citizens of Dillsboro and Dearborn County as a whole. The Commissioners are thankful for the support provided by the Dillsboro Town Council and the assistance that has been provided by county and town officials and employees throughout this process. Read and approved at the regularly scheduled meeting of the Dearborn County Board of Commissioners on the 2nd day of July, 2024.
I'm also aware that Mr. Doug Baker, president of the Dillsboro Town Council.
We need to approve the letter.
Oh, right. Hang on, Doug.
Motion to approve the statement.
Okay. Mr. Goodman's motion to approve Mr. Biden's statement for the commissioners. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Mr. Baker, President of the Dillsboro Town Council, would like to make a statement.
Good morning, Commissioner Thatcher, Commissioner Goodman, Commissioner Probst. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. My name is Doug Baker. Before I read the statement from the Dillsboro Town Council, I'd like to make a personal comment. It was going to be to Mr. Whitterwright, but he's not here today. So I'll give the comments to the people that are representing. Truly believe you people had the best intentions when you signed to be EMS volunteers. I truly believe you had the best intentions when becoming the head of the Dillsboro EMS. But somewhere along the way, the ship went south. It's still going south, and it's going fast. I've been working with other community and county leaders since March 14th to give you and your staff the opportunity to resolve the crisis and to continue to serve the Dillsboro area. But you chose to be influenced by others. In my opinion, others that have made this a political issue, and that's sad. It's time you and your staff and the influencers step aside. Step aside today. Stop making misleading and inaccurate comments on social media. Stop putting fear and anxiety into the lives of Dillsboro residents. And stop embarrassing yourselves. Now I'm going to read the statement from the Dillsboro Town Council that was approved by all 5 members. You, the Dillsboro EMS, have failed us. When Dillsboro residents call 911 for life squad service, they hope and expect someone to show up quickly. That hasn't been the case with the past and current squad membership. You've not only put Dillsboro residents at risk, but now the residents of Aurora and Moores Hill. It's probably too late, but it's time to sign the provisional contract that the county has presented. The contract that the Dillsboro Town Council supports 100%. Or relinquish your duties, along with turning over all property and assets to the Dillsboro Fire Department. This will allow the county, the town of Dillsboro, the Dillsboro Fire Department to move forward in restoring life squad services in Dillsboro. Restoring those services will take a burden off Aurora and Moores Hill's life squads. I'd like everyone here to thank themselves as an employer for a moment. Okay? Take a moment, think of yourself as an employer. And I'll leave you with this question. If you have employees showing up 12% of the time, if you keep that employee on staff, thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Doug. Okay, I know that there are some other people that want to speak. We're going to hold off on that until we get to public comment. So if you want to make any kind of a statement at that point in time, you'd be more than welcome. As of right now, we're going to move on with the agenda, and we're going to discuss the proposed zoning ordinance text amendments. Ms. Daly.
Good morning, Nicole Daly with Dearborn County Planning and Zoning. I am here to present 3 ordinance changes with the zoning ordinance, and those were presented to the Dearborn County Planning Commission on May 18th, where 7 of the planning commissioners, May 28th, what is it, March?
You said May.
Oh, May 28th, sorry. May 28th, 7 of the planning commission members that were present at that meeting supported a favorable recommendation for the text amendment changes. Those 3 are Article 25, Section 2502, Table 25.1. And within your packet, this is for the R3 single family and 2-family residential minimum living area. At the time this was approved in February, it listed 1 minimum square footage, and later it was found out that it was a mistake. We needed to have two that would be similar to the R2 zoning district. And, we are requesting the change of 950 square feet minimum for a single detached family and 750 square feet two-family unit. Also within the changes is Article 3, Section 315, conditional use requirements for the Board of Zoning Appeals. This outlined necessary items for multifamily requirements and the process for getting a conditional use. That section is no longer needed as we've made the changes to now include single family, multifamily into an R1, R2, and R3 district of our zoning ordinance. Therefore, the standards are listed within those districts. So the request is to strike that portion out of that section. And then also in Article 25, Section 2562, it was a section on its own of residential townhome and multifamily design standards. This is the same thing since the new ordinance is in place, and we do have now R2 and R3 zoning districts. Those districts have the standards that are needed for the density levels that would be provided. Therefore, we are requesting for that whole section to be striked from the ordinance. With that as the ordinances we are requesting and what the Plan Commission has forwarded a favorable recommendation to the commissioners at this time.
Questions? And, motion to approve the proposed zoning map amendments, or text amendments.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And that's ordinance 2024-010.
Ready for you first.
Well, we'll have, next meeting will be the, hopefully the zone map amendment that was done by the Plan Commission.
Stop.
And also the demolition, package for State Line Road.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Next meeting, we'll have the, zone map amendment that was, at the last, Plan Commission meeting, and also the demolition package for State Line Road.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right, the next item, I think you just mentioned it, it's gonna be table.
Yeah, the next two items on the agenda.
Okay, do we need to propose that table or just?
We need a motion.
Motion.
Yeah, motion to table.
Motion to, table the proposed zoning map amendment, local business B1 to high density residential R3, and then second discussion of the state line demolition.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, it will be, tabled until the July 18th meeting. New business, Mr. Wisher, county engineer, Bridge 87, Johnson Bluff.
Tom Lister, County Engineer. What I have today for you is to sign the signature blocks for the plans for the repair or the erosion up there on Bridge 87, which is Johnson Fork Road, as well as that is a 100% local project for that erosion repair work. And then the second one is a signature block for Bridge 64, Sneakville Road, which is federal aid. Johnson Fork will bid the end of the month, and 64 will bid in November. So I just have two signature blocks to be signed.
Okay. And you, two motions or?
You can do them together unless you want to separate.
Do both together. And Johnson Fork, is that where you and I went up and looked at the bridge? That's was being washed away.
Yep. We fixed the south side 2 years ago. The creek decided it's now moved again, and now it's gone to the north side. We're now leading the way to the north side, so now we have to repair work on the north side.
Erosion.
Yeah, basically it's cutting the bank out
That's what I'm saying.
and jeopardizing the bridge.
All right. Mr. Goodman, motion to approve signature blocks for, bridge plans, Bridge 87, Johnson Fork, and Bridge 64, Sand Hill Road.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Motion, John.
There's actually 4 sheets here. You sign above your name, all 4. Just a quick note, the community crossing grant has just opened up, so in the next few weeks, I will be working on our application for community crossing grant, for next year's asphalt paving. The amount of grant for this 1 year has gone up from a maximum of $1 million to $1.5 million. We can do a contract up to $3 million, so, we'll be working, council has funded, our match at $1.5 million. So we will be seeking the full amount of the community crossing grant, from the state in our application. We'll find out application to do the end of the month, and usually find out sometime around October, if we get awarded. And so far, we've been lucky, we've been awarded, the amount we've asked for the last, 5 years since community crossing matching grant has been placed, by the legislature, so hopefully we'll keep, good luck running. That's all I have, unless you get something for me.
350 closures, is that on schedule, you know?
Yes, they have moved, the one that was the most, problematic, I guess to say, there wasn't really easy detour around it, was finished, last week. Actually, it was switched over to Saturday, so right now, they're in between, 2 ends of Old 350. So local traffic can use Old 350 to get around it, so that doesn't affect traffic very much. There's a couple pipes in that area that have to be replaced. Once that work's done, then they'll move out to the Sparta Pike area, and when they're in that closures, they will go to use Sparta Pike to get around. So, just the one between Dearborn and Loudon was the one that was really problematic, but that has been completed. There is one on that contract that's actually in Ripley County, that's actually on the other side of 101, just on the west side of, that's in that contract yet. So anybody that goes out to Osgood, yet this month, there'll be a closure out there, so that'll affect you if you're going towards the Osgood on 350. But yes, for the Dearborn County closures, we're in pretty good shape.
Sounds good.
Now, State Road 1, they're still working on the tiebacks and trumpets, concrete caissons. My understanding, talking to the project supervisor of that project last week, that's still on schedule, but the schedule means Thanksgiving. So just so everybody knows what on schedule means for that project. So State Road 1 still looks like it's gonna be a Thanksgiving. They're not, gained any time, just on schedule. So it still looks like it'll be Thanksgiving before that'll be back open. That's all I have. We'll see what it's gonna do for me.
Good, we're good, Todd, thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Biden is an, OHM updated contract for MS4.
Yes, so I just, got confirmation from the Marksburg City Attorney that they did approve the amendment to the interlocal as well. They were the last ones we were waiting on. So this is the contract that we have with OHM Advisors for MS4, and this is the portion where they're working with the county and the cities collectively. This amendment would increase the not to exceed amount to $50,000, so it would be an additional 25. The first 25,000 lasted approximately 18 months. We're still working towards getting all MS4 in place, so we're gonna continue working with with OHM. They've been exceptional to work with. The $25,000 increase in that cost is split between the county and the cities based on population. So, the amendment to the interlocal included language authorizing the county to execute any required amendments with OHM. So that's what we would be doing, this would be an change order number 1, with OHM Advisors to increase the not to exceed amount to $50,000. And that's just Jim's signature.
Okay.
Upon approval.
motion to approve the, updated OHM contract, for MS4 services.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Under the signature?
Yeah.
Client? Okay. Thank you, Ann. Okay, Ms. Brumwell, do you have something for us, covered bridge certification?
Yes, we get $1,850 each year for our one covered bridge we have.
Okay. Mr. Goodman, motion to approve the, 1,000,
Certification.
certification, I see an amount on here. How
We
much
do
was it?
that.
$1,850
Okay,
is on the prior.
okay, all right, motion to approve the, covered bridge certification.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
So Andy, is this a signature page we're waiting on for this one?
So the,
From Lawrenceburg?
it won't be part of that, it'll be part of that amendment we did last time.
And you
I
have
think
that?
I sent you Greendale and Aurora, haven't I?
Mhm.
So yeah, we're just waiting on Lawrenceburg, so. And yeah, Dell said he sent it, they just did it last time.
Okay. Who does this go to?
That needs scanned, and you can send it to me, and I'll send it back to OHM.
Okay.
Okay, Ms. Hayden, you have a 2025 OKI agreement?
I do. For a number of years, we've approved an agreement with OKI. This year it's going to be the same amount as last, and I can't remember the last time the amount has really changed. It's based on population, and the amount is $16,901. And, if approved, we are the I in OKI. So, it just needs Jim's, the president's signature.
We pay about 20 cents per citizen, and that amount, that rate, has been consistent for over 15 years. So the services from OKI are pretty sweet.
Mr. Brooks, you want to make that motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement with OKI.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And I'll scan this back to
Just don't let me.
Tony. Thank you, that's all I have.
Okay. Ms. Fromhold?
Yes.
Claims? And for the record, Mr. Probst goes over all the claims before they're brought to the commissioners meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve claims.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. payroll?
Yes.
Goodman, motion to approve payroll?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Minutes. Mr. Probst, motion to approve the Dearborn County Board of Commissioners meeting minutes for June 18, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Mr. Budendistel, do you have anything else for us?
Nothing further.
Is there any late arrival information? Seeing none. Public comment, if anyone would like to step up and make any kind of comments, you're welcome. Yes, sir, Stan, just state your name.
Good morning, my name is Sandy Schnabel. As you can see, I have no packet in my hand, so I'm a concerned citizen of Dearborn. I'm a resident. My parents live there. I currently live in their home, so we're a long-time Dearborn resident. I'm retired military. I get paid to read body language. I kind of listen to everything that's going on today. The main concern is that the residents of Dearborn and the surrounding areas, we don't have a life squad viable. Aurora's doing a good job responding. We're getting some support from Moore's Hill. But as everybody was talking up here today and I was kind of listening, I don't play the politics. I'm not a political person, but I read body language. When Mr. Geimer was up here talking, I could tell that the board didn't really care what he had to say just by their reactions. We got chuckles in the crowd over here when we talked about the Aurora responding to Dearborn's calls. Whatever the vendetta is, whether it's political, personal, bottom line is Dearborn needs coverage. Mr. Baker, I don't know you from anybody else out there, but from what I got out of you was, we don't want to help Dearborn EMS succeed, but you're willing to just give money to the fire department and take over. To me, that's not right. As you can tell, I'm an emotional person. I'm kind of getting emotional here. I don't have a dog in the fight. I will volunteer. I volunteered my entire life, like I said. I got paid to volunteer in the military, 22 years. I was on the board of directors for Little League Baseball for 15 years in Virginia. We gotta work together to get stuff resolved. I know a lot of people in this room. I grew up with people in this room. People probably know my parents or relatives. What the bottom line is what can we do to get EMS in Dillsboro up and going? If it's a contract, I kind of did the numbers yesterday, just what I see on social media, the things, and just simple math to me is, I know the commission's trying to help, but to me, it seems like we're setting them up for failure. I talked with a few people that's EMSs, just kind of getting an idea. The 14,000, whatever the hell it was, oh, sorry. Whatever it was on the thing, just simple math in my head. Common sense is if you're paying an EMT $50 a run, I don't know if that's normal, but it just says $50 a run and they're making 4 runs a day, and you're paying a driver, so you got 1 EMT, 1 driver, 4 runs a day for 30 days, that average in a month, that's like $11,000. So if you want to give them 14,000, then that's $3,000 that's going to go to fuel, maintenance. To me, it just seems like we're setting people up for failure that way. And like I said, I don't have a dime in a fight. I volunteered. I'll drive an ambulance. I'm too old to go get EMT certified. I don't like blood, but I will provide my time, and I will drive if that's what's needed. I will step up if they need someone to get on the board to help make decisions or an outside eyes looking in. I will do that. But bottom line is the first time I've been to this down here. What can we do to make it work is my main thing. I know you guys you offered a contract. From what I heard, the Dealsboro's created their own contract. Take the politics out of the personal vendettas. I I mean, if we're willing to give money to Aurora to cover the runs, or however that works, or Moore's Hill, make it work for Dillsboro. 2 weeks ago, we had a big, baseball tournament, softball tournament in Dillsboro. Everybody knows the whole area over there was filled. We had no coverage. If one of them kids would've got hurt, heat injury, hit with the baseball, how long would it take Aurora to get there? I know they would've given their best chance to get out there, but would have been in time. Same thing with Moore's Hill. That's all I'm looking at. Take the personal out of it, take the politics out of it, regardless of the views. I couldn't even tell you who's on the board of directors for Dillsboro EMS. But I see a lot of you at Janet's Diner. I don't know who you are, but I see you all the time. That's all I ask, is work together as a community. You guys are elected officials for the county. I'm not saying you're not doing your job. I really don't know what your job is, just like you don't know what my job is. But work together to try to resolve the conflicts instead of, I don't know, I just hate the finger pointing. And read people's body language. That's the main thing. If you guys were sitting here today, if I was a betting man, if we walked out of here at midnight, I bet Mr. Thatcher and Mr. Geimer would be in a fist fight, just by the body language. It's not about that. Keep the personal stuff out of it and work together to get it resolved. If Dillsboro needs help with anything, we should provide it. If we don't have qualified EMTs, is there ways out there to send people to school? I'm sure there's people that have volunteered to go to school, but a lot of people don't want to get involved in any organization when you have this going on. Social media is a bad thing for everything. I mean, when I first looked at it, did I want to be part of Dillsboro EMS? Probably not, just because of all the stuff that's going around. But you gotta weed out of it. That's all I ask, is try to work together as community commissioners in the county and make it beneficial. Because the only people suffering is the citizens of Dillsboro, the residents and the surrounding areas. That's who's getting hurt out of this. They're not here, they're at work, they don't know what's going on, other than what they see in social media. Dillsboro EMS did whatever and however long, and the commission's not doing anything to help, but we're gonna do this or that. From what I get out of all this, regardless of how it works, there's money out there to help. And regardless if you give it to Dillsboro or you don't give it to Dillsboro, it's there. And from what I heard, we give it to Aurora to help, we give it to Moore's Hill to help. We asked different things, loan vehicles or whatever, however that works. Just work together as a community. Like Mr. Baker said, give everything over to the fire department. Is that right? No. But what that tells me is, if we just said, okay, we're gonna just do away with you guys and we're gonna give it here, then obviously you're gonna get the money. If that's the main issue, is the money. But make it work. But you gotta make it work where it's gonna work for the community, because you're not gonna get volunteers to come out and do it for free. And like I said, the simple math is if you have one EMT, one driver, and they're there 24 hours a day and they do an average of 4 runs, it comes out to be over $11,000. And what?
You gotta pay them $20 an hour, do the math that way. It's
Well,
$20
I was
an
just
hour,
doing
$15
simple
an hour,
math.
it's $35 an hour, there's someone there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
The 14,600, so the money was allocated by council. And
Yeah.
The 14,000, I was just gonna tell you what the formula was. The $14,600 a month equals out to $175,200 a year. And that was allocated by council to each of the units to make sure that they had at least one person making $20 an hour on staff, 24/7, 365. And then that 175,200 is what's being split currently between Moore's Hill and Aurora, so that they can provide, the staff to cover the areas that they're covering.
Yeah, and like I said, the money, I don't really care about the money, where the money goes. It's just make Dillsboro EMS available. Because right now, we're not available. That's all I have. I don't want to waste everybody's time, but, I mean, that's just the way it is. Take the politics out of it, don't make it personal, regardless of who you like and who you don't like. Make it work for the community. And I don't know any way else to say it without cussing. But thank you for your time.
I have one comment. I will, at this point in time, concede any kind of a fist fight to Mr. Gammon.
No, I'm just, like I said, I read body language. I'm a leader. I was a leader in the military, and you read people. That's how you communicate. Everybody's different. You gotta approach everybody in a different way. And when you learn to read people's body language, you get a lot out of it. And I'm not trying to downgrade anything, but I could tell that the group back in that area that had the chuckles when we talked about loaning life squads and stuff, there's still a conflict between Aurora and Dillsboro, as far as that goes. But just read people's body language. Bottom line is make it work. Because I'll tell you what, if one of them little kids would've got hurt over the weekend out there at that baseball tournament, regardless, it's a bad thing. That's all I have.
Thank you, thank you. Anyone else want to speak? Yes.
I don't know if I really want to speak or not.
Okay, Dave?
My name's Randy Jackson. I've been with Dillsboro EMS for 25 years. Out of 25 years, I've been probably captain for 17 years, which is president. It's terrible. It's shameful. I don't even really like to say that, who I am, what I've been part of. But back in the day, volunteers, you could count on. It's gone. Everything's changed. Everybody's got something to do, and it all boils down to money. With that being said, money needs to come from the council or county, and also we need help from the town. According to bylaws and constitution that was written, Dillsboro EMS is no longer in existence. From the bylaws that I have at my house, they're done. The day their membership dropped, they're done. They're over. You have members that are on the board, Dillsboro's board, that don't even live in Dillsboro. One's 76 years old, had medical issues, grandma, grandpa, or whatever, and Harry's wife and Harry himself don't even live in Dillsboro. What's that tell you? I believe a lot of pencil whooping has happened on some papers that makes people trying to do things that are not done, supposed to be done the right way. One of the things that's not being done the right way is you guys wanting to give the building or whatever to the fire department. That's not the way it works. That's not the way it goes in the Constitution and bylaws. In the Constitution and the bylaws, it goes to the community of Dillsboro. I mean, that's the way it is. And you talk about money. Do you even know how much money Dillsboro has? Dillsboro EMS?
They obviously don't.
I obviously do.
I do too.
What number?
That's not for public right now.
Right now, it's going to be public.
Okay.
$881,000, $159. 800. Why? Because this guy, at the time, was called back because somebody embezzled and took money from Dillsboro EMS. They called, which it's on record, Tracy McIntosh took all the money. We almost lost the building that was being built. Somebody turned around and did a 5-year balloon and was only making interest payments. And by the grace of God and a woman, we ended up with $750,000. And by the membership, which I guess somehow somebody told me that I wasn't allowed to do it. Well, it's been done. I turned around and cashed in the U.S. stock that was given to us at $34 a share and used that money to pay the building off. With that building being paid off, the town was gracious that we have problems after problems. Paperwork not sent into the state. Not all kinds. If it wasn't for Ledessa there and for myself for over 2 years trying to backlog and pay back money that was owed interest and stuff to get the life squad going back again. We made our runs. We cared about our community. The thing is, and trust me, Roar people, I love you, always have, always will be. But there's friction between people that don't have that town feeling. There's people that do love you, that does live in the town of Dearborn. And I really appreciate it. We had that professionalism working together. If I was there, hell yeah, you'd have one of the damn ambulances in a heartbeat. We're not using it, it doesn't matter. On backup, we've always did that. It's just common courtesy. You not doing some of the stuff that you're doing, for one, not right, you ain't doing it the right way that it's supposed to be. Two, you ain't got no damn right to do whatever you're doing because you're non-existent to the Constitution bylaws. You're non-existent. You can't turn around and pistol whip stuff, because I guarantee you, I like to see the paperwork. I like to see your membership, and how many damn EMTs do you have? How many? Can you answer that?
Why don't you come to the meeting? We've been asking people in Dearborn to come.
Oh, I've
If
come
you were-
by
if you
and
were-
I have not seen.
You have never
Randy,
come, you have never come to the
Not for
meeting.
dialogue,
Sorry.
address
Thank
them, please, thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you. Because a lot of this has upset me, pissed me off. I'll have to say it like it is. I don't care. If there's that much help, Dillsboro, fire department, we have always helped each other. Should still continue that and haven't done it for money. There was issues. Matter of fact, I used to be a firefighter. Not a firefighter no more because I chose to go on the life squad run, and the fire chief back at the day didn't like that I didn't suit up. So he kicked me off the fire department. It is what it is. Do I still like members on the fire department? Oh, yes. It is what it is. There's money there. There's a way to fix this. I'm retired now, I'm disabled. Do I want to be an EMT again? Nope, I didn't. I've been through too many runs that traumatizes you, seen many things that you guys could never imagine, been with that. But it all boils down to support from the town. We've never had the support that what the town does give to the fire department. I know many things what the fire department has and what they get, and the life squad never did. I mean, face it all. If your car catches on fire, you care, right? It's your car, it's your transportation, it's your way to get to work. But what if your kid was in there and got burned? Which would you rather have, a new car or make sure you have somebody to take care of your kid? The responsibility is how the people of Dillsboro, what kind of coverage and what kind of help they want. Life is irreplaceable.
Randy, you need to wrap up.
Okay, I didn't know I had time on. I know, it's a long day, but, if you all decide that you want somebody, because as far as I'm concerned and the way it is, the Constitution and all that has been, voided, there no longer should be in existence, I would be more than glad to step up and help out, because you talk about all this money, what you spend. Turn the paperwork in and you'll get money from insurance company. That's one of the biggest things that needs to be done, and you're not doing it. That's it.
Thanks, Randy.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Commissioner comments?
Fourth of July is on us. We had some celebrations over the weekend. I'm sure there's gonna be some more in the area. Encourage people to celebrate our independence, but do it, be safe. We've got a little bit of fire hazard out there. We're not under a watch yet, but it's dry. Be careful with that fireworks. That's all I've got.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks. Okay, I just want to clarify one thing that Mr. Galvin brought up. That was the amount of money the county's entered into a contract with a consultant to help us develop strategy for EMS in Dearborn County. The 48,000, how much did we receive as a planning grant?
45.
We got 45,000.
Right.
40, and that's what we spent.
Okay, we received a planning grant of $40,000. So the county didn't spend $40,000. And the document you said you couldn't have is in draft form. If it's in draft form, then it's something that's still being addressed, and it wouldn't be fair to put out a draft and have things change. So, I don't have anything else. Mr. Probst, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.